Test. All right, we are live. The convergence points of the Monongahela and the Allegheny Valley rivers created a city known for its steel grit and iron will. The hallowed halls of the most elite military academy on the planet produced some of the greatest athletes and minds America has ever seen. These two teams, the University of Pittsburgh and West Point Gold Team, meet today now to settle this men's Division One semifinal. I am your host for the night, Kurt Schaefer. On behalf of USA Team Handball, I would like to welcome you, our viewers on the internet from around the world and around the country, to the USA Team Handball College National Championship Tournament here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And as we wait for the ref's whistle, I promise you this is not one you're going to want to miss. Pittsburgh able to hold West Point goal to nothing on that possession. Goes to Alex Greenstein. Devenya in the backfield, the center back. Folia out wide to the left. Going to the pivot immediately. Both sides scoreless after one possession. Greenstein shoots it past the West Point keeper. Missed the first team to strike. And the referee says no go on West Point's retort. And Pittsburgh comes away with that one without anything to show for it. West Point gold on the attack. Gold shoots, and West Point will get their first goals of the gun. See, that's a goal. Pittsburgh 2-1. We'd like to thank North Carolina State University for accommodating us for this tournament on such short notice. I bring this up because NCSU has closed off one of their facilities, or I should say, a part of this facility that we are not using in order to dissuade students from using it. As it's shut down, it is dark there, and it gives a little bit of an extra mood, more of a night feel to it than the earlier games today. Very fitting for semifinals of this proportion. Leiden, down low pivot, gets the goal. And West Point Gold's retort does not go through yet again. Gold now trailed by 1. Pittsburgh possession. Some mispossession by Pittsburgh. Slows down the attack, and passive goes up. Leiden. West Point keeper keeps it out. Bobbling catch there by Leiden almost went through as West Point drives in the wing. No go. Venue. On his own. Goes over. West Point Gold ties it up. The other semifinal today going on concurrently, Ohio State University Scarlet versus United States Air Force Academy. as as Pittsburgh sends that one through the upright. Pittsburgh once again through the upright. West Point Gold with the immediate response. You apologize. This is a quarterfinal, not a semifinal. However, with that said, just as big stakes on the line here, both these teams still in contention for a medal. I spoke with Pittsburgh a little bit yesterday. West Point always assuming they're going to win one. I think every single team in the quarterfinals for this round is going to be, for this year, is going to be very upset if they come away without medal. Problem being, there's only three. And Pittsburgh goalie able to clean that one up. No, throws an error, goes straight back to West Point Gold. Can't punish him for it in time. And the referee says over the line. Well, puts it one out the back of his zone, but Pittsburgh at the wing, unable to throw. Right back down, pivot, Leiden in. Gold trails two. West Point Gold able to respond. West Point's going to need to stop this Pittsburgh attack. Don't want to equalize anytime soon. Most of the attack flowing through their back and through their pivots. We'll see what kind of mental notes these West Point players are making right now. Pittsburgh, long shot, doesn't go. Goal from a set play. Goes to the wing, and referee says no, foot foul. That is Pittsburgh's ball. Pittsburgh with a chance to go up two. Had a swap out at pivot. Leiden out, number 18 in. And the venue with a center back going along shot. Great move. West Point Gold misses the response, goes over. Hit ball. Good missing that opportunity. Gives up possession to West Point. West Point now on the attack. Gold looks to the ring. Ring ball this possession. That hit a foot. Ref didn't call it. Pittsburgh on a breakaway. Pittsburgh on a breakaway. And the goal will go. Pittsburgh by 3, 8-5. Now getting into the middle of the first half. His Wiener does not look good. He's walking on that foot very gingerly. Hope he's okay out there. And it almost responds with a goal. Bounces off the crossbar, and that's Pitts again. hit on the attack. Winger goes in. Easy for the goal. West Point's shooting is not connecting right now. And that will stay in Pittsburgh's end. Oh, yeah. Empty cross. Empty cross goes. And it was possession. They have to reset. Greenstein. Defending looks it alone. That's a no-go. That will stay with the offense. Pittsburgh does the wing, ends up center back. Greenstein. And he sinks it. Go to Pittsburgh. Referee says playing in the pocket. That's going to cost West Point another possession. Henry sends him ahead. Pittsburgh now doubling West Point goal midway through the first half. Goal, unable to respond with a goal. However, they do accidentally take down the Pittsburgh goalie. And the referee calls a left timeout with the goalie to stand up. Did not hit his head, so there would be no extra penalties or anything given. Just say unfortunate shot placement takes the goalie down. He's up and walking. Excuse me. He is up and walking again now. Might take a second or two, but looks like he'll be okay. And referee says play continues. Goalie's still sitting a little low. I hope he's all right. Pittsburgh. He's back to moving around. Gets to the center back. To venue with another shot. Pittsburgh now up 11-5 on West Point goal. Army looks for something. Army tries a volleyball pitch. And Army will retain possession. Referee sets their ball. A little confusion. The referees look like they're disagreeing with each other's call. And the ball will go to Pittsburgh, not to West Point, as I originally called them. And he's now moved out to left back. New center back in. CBRB cross. Poliat in the middle. And Pittsburgh able to break through on a wing cross. Very powerful play coming out of Pittsburgh right now. West Point goal barely even looks phased. That's the machine playing the West Point teams, gold or black. They're just going to be there mentally when you're not. Never seen them play frustrated. I've never seen them play afraid. A 7 point lead now can be a 3 point lead in about 2 minutes if you're not careful. Be a 2 point deficit in four. West Point out of the backfield, set play. West Point running a interesting backfield. It looks like a double center back position. And take possession. West Point is a two. It's always the choice whether or not you're going to run the dual center backs or if you're going to run a zero pick offense. West Point has relied a little bit on the pivot to disrupt that line, so it would not surprise me if that's how they go during future 2 minutes, should they get any. And Pittsburgh collects that ball, no issue. Pittsburgh on the attack. Pittsburgh absolutely running riot right now. And the referee is calling open play. Ball moves through. Ball gets on the board. 13-6. To Benye. Front cross with Cranky. Cranky, Miser. Devenye. Devenye, plenty of space. Capitalizes. Pittsburgh 14. West Point goal at 6. West Point back to percent now. They try to tip it in off the circle, unable to do so. Pittsburgh ball. Lyden back in a pivot. Devenye at CB. They go to the right wing, and goalkeeper keeps it out. West Point goal sends their opportunity wide. It's the ball. We're now entering into the final 5 minutes here of this first half. Well, we're soon, I should say. For those out here who are just tuning in now, these are 25-minute halves. These are not a full 30 like you get in professional games. We're doing 25-minute halves, full tournament. And they try to go down to the pivot. West Point goal able to get there. Referee calls the play dead, but does call it for West Point goal. So possession arrow. Throw in is theirs. Gold, always the interesting positions. And gold center back, once again, crossbar. I don't think anyone in Pittsburgh is complaining about that. First point. 7. Loud. Four. Greenstein. Out to the side, negative. And Cranky and Leiden unable to convert on that. West Point on the attack, running forwards, pitches out. West Point. And the referee will give a 2-minute. Number 19 for Pittsburgh. I believe his jersey name says Pasodo. Or Pasodo. West Point on the attack. And Pittsburgh interception. Pittsburgh on a breakaway. Greenstein. 15-7. So the clock now slowly counts down. Pittsburgh has an entire half of handball to watch out for. One has to wonder what they're going to talk about at halftime in order to keep this lead where it is. West Point wing. 15-8. I'd like to remind you guys out there watching on the stream, we are roughly accurate in terms of where these time frames are. There has not been that much delay between them. However, we are not perfect. When you see 25 minutes hit, it does not mean that the game is over. Please wait until the referee puts his whistle. Greenstein down, Leiden, unable to connect. West Point with the ball. West Point on the attack, right back, away, through, unable to convert. Keeper stops. Granke passes up to Greenstein. Wide. Pittsburgh playing traditional position, but without their left wing. Greenstein, Karanke throw. 16, the lead is now 8. Around 2 minutes left. Greenstein, forward defense. Army maneuvering the backfield. Shot just off the crossbar. So the story for West Point goal today. You know they're going to mention that in the huddle. West Point manages an interception, breakaway, counterattack, unable to convert as the ball goes into the crowd. Karanke is center back, Venue out left. Goes to Leiden. Leiden able to, oh no, Leiden not able to connect on that shot at all. My bad indeed. That ball goes out of bounds. West Point possession. I'm confirming now with the scoreboard I have. It is 1 minute and 30 remaining. And that's a goal for West Point. I've adjusted the clock to be slightly more accurate. Thing to do for Pittsburgh. 16-9. It's a 7-point game. Can they make it six? Yes, they can. 6-point game before half. West Point Gold picking up some momentum right before the end. Clock is pretty close to accurate. We have about 30 seconds left in this half. Devaney, Leiden, West Point time wasting. Karenki, Devaney, 3 seconds, and that ball goes harmlessly out of bounds. That'll be halftime. With a hard-fought battle here in Raleigh, North Carolina for this men's quarterfinal matchup between Pittsburgh and West Point Gold. Your halftime score, 16 Pittsburgh, 10 West Point Gold. We will go silent for halftime, and I will see you guys after the break. And we are back here again on this lowest. I've been informed. In fact, the score is not 16 to 10. It is 11 to 15. And I'll get the clock timer going for the second half right now. I feel like I remember miscounting this goal. I do apologize. And that one flies out for over Pittsburgh. And goalie collects, no issue. Pittsburgh looking to break through. Dependy goes to Leiden. And the referee says that's a little too hard. Pittsburgh is going to get a 7 out of it. Pittsburgh converts 11 to 16 for Pittsburgh. West Point goes down to the pivot, and he converts 16 to 12. Greenstein looks good to venue. Definitely. Wing shot. And referee calls it off regardless. West Point with possession. Don't know what that was. West Point with possession goes to the right back. Excuse me, goes to the left back. And it does think that the lead is now just 3. Well, the second half adjustments seem to be looking out pretty well for West Point. They've already recovered 2 of those goals. I thought it was 3. 2 of those goal deficits. And West Point scores again. Pulls it within 2. Greenstein draws the foul. Venue passes down the pivot. Wasn't looking for it. Greenstein recovers, goes the way, wing shot, and it's in. Huge wing shot for Pittsburgh. Followed almost immediately by a counterattack from West Point. Greenstein. Pull out. West Point number 16 wraps him, can't do anything with it. W. Soka cross. Goes to the right back, goes to the right wing. Right wing sinks. 18-15, Pittsburgh in the lead. So very early in the second half. And Pittsburgh gets a clean takeaway. In the West Point pivot, ball of possession, Pittsburgh capitalized. It's good. W keeps it out. West Point now. West Point at the wing. West Point wing, unable to shoot. That ball will stay with Army. Army. Army with the goal. Through the middle. Well done. The referee calling the ball back to the center, saying you have to wait on our whistle in order to play. Pittsburgh complies. Ball's in play. Pittsburgh's signal goes up. Over out with possession. And it's going to be a center cross. Greenstein center cross followed by a back cross. Polian ends up with the ball to the pit anyways. Possession bobbled. West Point counterattack. West Point counterattack. West Point goal. Pittsburgh lead has shrunk to just one. Well, if I told you guys in the beginning of this, I'm telling you now, you can never count out Army mentally. They are never going to break when other teams will break. They're never going to think too highly of a situation or too lowly of one that they cannot compete back. Karenke, Meisner, Greenstein puts one in. West Point, wing cross, wing through, wing goal. West Point number 18 on the goal. Pittsburgh's energy is definitely getting sucked away as time goes on. You cannot imagine that this was their plan at halftime. But with that said, the still retain a lead with possession. Karenke through, and he'll draw a foul. He'll draw a 2-minute. He'll draw a 2-minute on West Point. I'm sorry, not a 2-minute. He'll draw a 7 on West Point. And a 2-minute, yes, I was correct. His number 16 has to take a seat. And Voyat finds home. Pittsburgh crosses the 20 threshold. West Point, wing cross again, back cross, and that one goes off the crossbar. Army unable to convert at a critical time. We still have plenty of handball left as we approach the 10-minute mark. Greenstein goes to the wing. Wing cannot connect. And the ball goes out. And that timer would pause as West Point Gold runs over to collect the new ball. Pittsburgh gives that one away. Pittsburgh, Frankie, pull up. Sorry, Devanye. is able to convert. Pittsburgh goes up and the timer continues. Army will convert on a two. And Army retains possession of that one. Regains possession, I guess. And West Point's winger sinks the pool. Both teams are at over the 20 now. Pittsburgh retains possession on the out of bounds. Pittsburgh searching. Pittsburgh searching. Pittsburgh converts on that one. Karenke's goal goes through. West Point. West Point right back. And that's a 2-minute on. Oh, and that thought injured player did not. That's a 2-minute once again for number 19, Soto. That'll make a huge cost for Pittsburgh going forwards. They do not have men to spare on that sideline. And wrong side of the goal for West Point's winger there. That is Soto's second 2-minute. One more, and he is ejected from the game. Greenstein. Goal. West Point. Right back. Center back. And the referee gives Army a sanction. Pittsburgh was playing defense with an increase. Army number 14 to take. Sends it through. 21-23. The lead's still with Pittsburgh. As we're right below the 15-minute mark. Greenstein goes out wide. Pittsburgh capitalizes. Army to the wing, comes in, unable to score. Unable to score, it's a turnover. I believe Army's shot there hit the crossbar. Counter. They can't get there. They can get there though. West Point goal puts another point on the board. Pittsburgh. Overweight attack. Over is broken, ends up with the left wing, and the left wing able to score. Cranky goes to Greenstein. Goes to Cranky. Into the wing. Greenstein. Wing again. No go. West Point Gold able to stop the attack. West Point Gold gains one back on Pittsburgh. Score now sits at 23 West Point, 25 Pittsburgh. I apologize. That is 24 West Point, 25 Pittsburgh. Latin, Karenke, Greenstein. And that one's going to flail harmlessly into the goal's legs. West Point looking to tie it. West Point goes to the pivot. Pivot shot is good. Tie game. West Point with another interception, counterattacking now. Pittsburgh, solid defense, able to stop West Point from scoring on the counter. West Point possession. West Point goes to the right back, and he sinks it. If I'm not mistaken, that is West Point Gold's first lead of the night. The venue now, behind for the first time today. How will they respond? Greenstein goes to the pivot. Leiden unable to break through. Ball is recovered by the goalie, goes live. West Point, right back, center back, left back. Around the world and through the uprights. West Point, 2-point lead. Depending out to the wing. Wing shot is good. Pittsburgh response. Tussle on the middle, unable to capitalize on it by Pittsburgh. And possession goes to West Point. No play down the backfield. Army looking to pivot, and pivot capitalizes. All right. There's a Cranky. It's down to the left back. Tries to find the wing, can't do anything with it. Back to the CB. Oh, yeah. And he draws the defensive foul. Cranky, oh, yeah. They've been playing well all night. They're now behind for the first time all game. They have to score here. We are coming up on less than 5 minutes in game time left. They try to go to the pivot, can't get it done. And Pittsburgh's goalie unable to keep it out after a diving shot in for West Point Gold. And that's a timeout for Pittsburgh. What's that? Sometimes it fucks with the system.
Oh, you're muted. Okay, good. Good? I got 29, 26.
28, 26.
28,
No,
26.
We tried to get some trivia started in the other chat.
I got a compliment in the chat.
Sure. Yeah. As long as you guys get it out, then still has to do. That's going to be any OSU games very busy.
Yeah, they had a full 20 minutes.
Yeah, we haven't had a single comment in this chat.
Neither did our game.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we had someone asking what round it was, even though it was in the technical thing.
Yeah, someone did ask what round.
Yeah.
And then all the other chats for me. Oh, yeah.
I want to see about.
Test. Good. We are back here live again. I have correctly set the scores and the time in order for it to match the official clock. And we are live again for the last about 5 minutes, 40 or so seconds of this one. West Point Gold leads Pitt. Pitt has possession. Cranky. Just off to the side. Referee says too much contact. This will get the 7. The venue steps up to take. And Pittsburgh sinks that one. 28-27. It's a 1-point game again. Some chatter from the box. Cooper Johnson 6073 says West Point Gold number 2 is my hero. Well, hope he's a good one. Never up to that. West Point searching for something in the backfield. Goes to the right wing, right back to the center. Center back goes one-on-one, unable to connect through it, retains possession. (16) takes a shot. Shot goes too high. Pittsburgh counterattack. Pittsburgh sinks it in. Tied game. We've got about 4 minutes left. 20:58. The time you see is about accurate. West Point with possession and now the lead. Pittsburgh. Can they respond? Quarterfinal matchup. It's all for broke now. Pittsburgh retains possession. Greenstein, Karanke. Venue in the middle, who's been there all night. West Point able to swat that one away harmlessly. West Point the lead and possession. They go to the wing. Wing does not capitalize. Greenstein. Karanke. Venue. They're searching for something. They can't find it here. And they just can't connect on that one. Ball goes wide from passing Frankie. West Point wing shot. No, it's called off. Referee says he stepped over the line. No goal for West Point. Pittsburgh. At one point, Pittsburgh was up by 6. And that'll be a 2-minute. On number 16 for West Point Gold. A 2-minute and a 7-meter. After a very strong defensive maneuver. Scratch that actually, no 2-minute. And we are live again.
What was the time? 22, 45? That's a goal for Pittsburgh.
West Point bobbles the ball in the backfield, tries to go to the pivot, unable to do so. Center back retains possession. He throws interception. Pittsburgh with the ball. About 1 minute and 16 left in this one. Goes down to the pivot, and they're going to get a 7. West Point Gold, defended from behind on the pivot, is going to give Pittsburgh a chance to go ahead. You sinks it. Pittsburgh retains the lead. Attains the lead. Been a long day. West Point. Looking to tie it. Can't do it. Shoots it straight at Pittsburgh. Karenke now with possession and the lead. There are 30 seconds left in this game. When it gets to 24-30, that's it. Leiden on a goal. West Point retains possession with 30 seconds left. That might just be it. That might just be it. Pittsburgh throws it, and that's all she wrote. The University of Pittsburgh has defeated U.S. Army West Point Gold 31-29 and will advance into the semifinals. Well, after an exhilarating game, we saw a lot of amazing things out there on both sides. West Point Gold going to wish for some missed opportunities back, especially in that first half. Pittsburgh's going to be riding high for the rest of the night, I'm certain of it. We will be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp here in Raleigh, North Carolina. All of the streams will be found on the Instagram account at USATH_CNC or at our YouTube page of the same name. It has been a pleasure being your MC for the night. My name is Kurt Schaefer, signing off, and I will see you guys tomorrow.